Another aide-de-camp, a Polish officer named Sulkowski, recalls, "The soldiers saw him, and none of them imitated him. I was witness to this extraordinary cowardice, and I cannot conceive it."
You must respect and admire something like that. And I think it should be a standard for everyone who has a power to send young people to die in wars. I think you should be part of them. If you are willing to risk their lives, you should risk your own.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Veronica.
And I'm Valdemar.
And at long last,
It is here,
Yes.
finally. Napoleon in Italy, Battle of Arcole. 4th out of 5 video.
yeah, I don't actually know if you know this, because I don't know how closely you've been following the comments on the previous installment.
This is the creme de la creme.
Yes.
Yes, I heard.
Yes, apparently.
This is the best episode
Yes,
of the
I heard
series.
this is the GOAT, this is the OG, this is the best episode, this is all the hype.
Yeah.
Are you hyped?
But is it only the best from Napoleon in Italy, or the best from the whole series of
I
Napoleon?
understand that it's like from the whole series, like that this is the first episode that I was like so good, and that's why all the hype built up.
This is the one that is first. First, that is so good.
That's what I understood.
I would hope so, because I hope that this is not like the peak and then
And
it's
then
only
everything goes
down from there.
No, but I feel like this is the first that like got
All
so
right,
hyped
all right,
up.
okay. I'm already hyped up.
I am. I was even before I knew it was the hype, because we already really enjoyed this series. So now it's just
Me personally, I'm waiting for all those famous battles, like Austerlitz,
Oh, yeah.
like Russia campaign, like Waterloo.
Waterloo.
Waterloo maybe not so much, not for the fans of Napoleon. But about Italy, I have not heard at all. I mean, not at all, but there was
I
never
didn't know
never
much about
focus
it. No.
on Italy.
I think if it was ever in the history textbooks, it was maybe 2 sentences. There was not even a chapter about it.
Yeah, mostly I knew from oversimplified video that he had a big success in Italy, and that's why he was so famous after this campaign. So it's not the top episode of this whole series, just the top episode of Italy campaign.
Yes, and I think just like considering the whole series, the first one that was like really, really good, and then it made all the views.
Do you remember everything that happened before?
I remember enough. I wouldn't say I remember everything, but I think I remember
I think
enough.
I remember enough too.
Yeah.
I think, all right. And Arcole, I think Arcole.
Arcole?
We will learn that soon enough. Let's not make this any longer than it should be, because it's a long video already. I will just quickly mention that we have a movie channel as well. And at this moment that you are watching, there is 8 or 9 videos there. And there is going to be more. And there is one historical video coming soon, for which I am very excited about. So
Yes.
if you want to see it, then subscribe, because I really, really waited a long time to see this movie. And I waited for this channel to happen. And yeah, subscribe, and it's gonna be there soon, in like a month. Okay, let's go.
MF Productions collaboration.
I'm always hyped up with this music at the
Yeah.
beginning.
In 1796, at the height of the French Revolutionary Wars, a young French general took charge of a ragged, demoralized army in northern Italy.
This uniform is kind
It
of
was
swag.
his first
It
command.
is.
Many
Oh, and thank you to
expected
everyone who
him to
explained why
fail.
it's so colorful. Now we know.
Instead, in just 1 month,
Yeah, thank
he
you.
won his first brilliant campaign. With astonishing self-confidence, boldness and energy, he led his army to victory after victory, transforming the war in Europe, winning praise from a grateful republic, and forging a legend. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte's first campaign, and the dawn of a new age.
I'm here for it.
Also, I just recently finished The Count of Monte Cristo, a great book.
October
I recommend it wholeheartedly.
1796. 6 months have passed since General Napoleon Bonaparte took command of the French army of Italy. In that time, He's led a series of brilliant operations against the Austrians and won a string of battles. Now he appears close to final victory. He's driven Austrian field forces off the plains of northern Italy, back towards the Alps.
I remember
While
that,
his
right?
troops have the great fortress city of Mantua,
Mantua.
the key to Italy, under close siege. Mantua's oversized Austrian garrison is nearing starvation and riddled with disease. Napoleon appeals to its commander, Field Marshal von Wurmser, to surrender. The brave should be facing danger, not swamp plague, he jibes.
Fair enough.
But
He really had
Wurmser
this
is
gift
a
to
tough
quotes.
old veteran.
Right.
He will not yield while any glimmer of hope remains. And he knows that to the north, Austria is gathering fresh troops to march to his aid. True, many are Grentz battalions, a type of Habsburg frontier militia, poorly drilled and short of officers. But
Well,
they
that's what
help
was
raise
left,
the
right?
strength of the Austrian field army to 44,000. And they have a new general to lead them, Feldzeugmeister or Lieutenant General Józef Alvinci. The 61-year-old Hungarian was once military tutor to Emperor Francis himself, and is regarded as diligent, sharp, and brave.
I must say, I would like to know more about Austria-Hungary or Austrian Empire, because we don't know that much about it. It was a country that divided Poland
Yeah.
at this time, more or less. I mean, at this time, Poland was not existing, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And part of Poland was under subdue of Austria-Hungary. So Austria-Hungary was a country that was formed out of many smaller countries and nationalities. You had Austrians, you had Hungarians.
Quite late too, right? Quite late. It was formed quite late, right? Or not?
Austria-Hungary?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Austria was and Hungary
Yeah.
as a country existed many centuries before that. But exactly that's my question. Like, how did those countries become one country, and how eager were Hungarians to fight those wars? Like, if they were like first-class citizens, or were they like second-class citizens behind the Austrians? Because Poles, they also fought in those armies. They had to. It's not like they had a choice, but they were not that eager to die for an emperor of Austria. So I wonder how it was from their perspective, those soldiers, because French, they were, mobilized.
Yeah, they were fighting for their country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a bit different. You're right. I don't think we learn much about it at school. I think similar as other countries would not learn about like Poland and Lithuania being united either.
Yeah.
I think maybe many of you may not know even that there was that period in history when we were one country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think to this context, I think it will be good to know, and maybe it will come up later when it comes to morale, because I think it will have a significance.
Yeah, from here, it doesn't seem like it seems a little bit desperate, right? Just getting the troops that are not that well trained and giving them a commander who maybe is not in the best position either.
Exactly. 61 years old, I think is kind of old. Let's go.
He and his staff draw up plans for a fresh offensive to rescue Wurmser and Mantua. Alvinci and Kostanovic will lead the main column, 26,000 strong, from Friuli to Bassano, then onwards to Mantua. Davidovic's corps, reinforced to 18,000, will retake Trento and push south through the Adige Valley. The two forces will link up at the earliest opportunity. Meanwhile, Wurmser, who can muster just 12,000 fit men from the Mantua garrison, will launch powerful sorties to pin down as many French units as possible.
Okay.
Napoleon,
So he's gonna
by
exit,
contrast, has received
I
very
wonder.
few reinforcements
interesting.
from France. His weary divisions are suffering from shortages and sickness, and will be outnumbered on every front.
Yeah, it looks pretty scary for them.
Alvinzi begins his advance on the 22nd of October. The following day, the heavens open, drenching troops, swelling rivers.
Also, I think it's pronounced Alvinci,
roads to
but
mud.
I might be wrong.
For the time being, Napoleon is content to observe the enemy struggle forward in such conditions, knowing the effort will exhaust his infantry and disrupt supplies. On the 2nd of November, fighting breaks out north of Trento, where Napoleon has ordered Vaubois to attack. He wants to keep Davidovich bottled up, but Vaubois is heavily outnumbered, and his attack fails. Vaubois begins pulling back to Caliano.
It's good for Austrians that there was only one Napoleon.
Right?
And withdraws towards Vicenza.
Just one more and they would be
But
wiped
now
off.
Alvinci's advance
I think we will
becomes
all be
strung
speaking
out,
French.
slowed by the heavy rain and poor fitness of his recruits. And it is against Napoleon's nature to remain passive for so long.
Could be a weakness,
the
no?
Austrians cross the Brenta, he orders Massena to attack General Liptay's division at Fontaniva, while Augereau attacks Hohenzollern at Bassano. The French launched dozens of separate assaults. But for all their poor march discipline, the Austrian recruits stand their ground and fight hard. With around 3,000 casualties on each side, the Second Battle of Bassano is the bloodiest day's fighting so far in the Italian campaign.
Oh,
And a failure
in the whole campaign.
for Napoleon. Hours later, he receives dire news from Vaubois.
Oh, he lost.
During heavy fighting at Caliano, some Croatian troops get behind the French line, triggering panic and a rout. Vaubois loses nearly half his division,
Oh, wow.
killed, wounded or missing, before he can regroup at Rivoli. The French are falling back on all fronts. And unless Napoleon can conjure something remarkable, he seems destined.
I'm really disappointed with the Napoleon movie that we've seen. Because I was just thinking that I would really like to see how it works in the army when you're kind of losing hope. And in situations like this, when, well, spoiler alert, I know that he will be successful in the end, right? So, like, how you turn that around, that's just such an interesting concept to see. How you speak to, because I can't imagine how you speak to all these soldiers, you know, how they are in the swamps, they are all sick. Most of them are probably sick, or their friends are dying from sickness, not even from, you know, being wounded or anything. They are hungry, and they are like, they're seeing that their soldiers from the other division, they are getting defeated. They are being surrounded by more and more Austrians. They're like starting to not see the point anymore. How do you speak to them and, you know, you still command them?
I think you take notes from Alexander the Great. You remember the speech of Alexander the Great?
Oh yeah, okay.
It's from this channel.
Ah, right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
you can see it here if you want. So I think, you know, you take inspiration from guys like that, and you try to figure something out. But I think it's a big part of being a successful commander and successful politician. Have an ability to mobilize people. And Napoleon had to be great at that, because we have those statements from this period that soldiers loved him.
Yeah, I'm just really curious. I wish there was something that maybe there is that we can like learn more about it, how that works. Because I'm even thinking, like, how do you strategically talk to these people when they are sick and, you know, in bad conditions? You're obviously in heavens above conditions on the field than they are, because you have to be. But he seems to have, from what I've seen, a good grasp on this kind of balance, that he's fighting with them. He's like, you know, he's their soldier as well. He's fighting with them, but at the same time, he is
the leader. Yeah.
To suffer a major strategic defeat.
Oh.
Oh, okay, so that's the strategy that he took. Interesting, right?
I did not expect that.
No, me neither. But apparently it worked.
Napoleon's position is perilous, but his enemy's cautious pursuit affords him some respite. 4 whole days pass while
Oh, in Verona.
Alvinci and Davidovich coordinate their next moves. It's not a delay Napoleon would have tolerated if the shoe had been on the other foot. When the Austrians finally advance, it's bungled. Hohenzollern's vanguard approaches Verona to investigate reports of a French retreat. This isolated division is too tempting for Napoleon to ignore. He orders Augereau and Massena to attack. They inflict 400 casualties, but Hohenzollern escapes to a ridge near Caldiero. The next day, Napoleon orders renewed attacks. But conditions are atrocious. The French struggle uphill into driving rain and hail, their boots slipping in the mud.
Hey, can you
Under
imagine
fire
shooting the
from
muskets in such a
Austrians.
way?
Yeah, I was thinking about
Are you
that.
even able to?
Around noon, Colonel Dupuy's 32nd Demi Brigade finally gets onto the ridge. It looks like the French may be able to lever the Austrians out of their position. But then, the Austrian army begins to arrive in force to support
Oh, wow.
Hohenzollern's hard-pressed division. The French are in danger of being outflanked on both wings.
Yeah, they don't have enough people to.
They take up new defensive positions and hold the line until darkness, when Napoleon cuts his losses and orders a retreat to Verona.
Oh, that seems risky.
It has been an unequivocal French defeat. Napoleon's first in battle.
I think this video might be so sensational because of how the tables
Yeah,
will
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
The following
I think
day,
so.
he writes furiously to the Directory in Paris. He has no doubt that they are to blame for his defeat, for repeatedly failing to send reinforcements.
Well, fair enough.
We may be on the verge of losing Italy. None of the expected help has arrived. The army of Italy, reduced to a handful of men, is worn out. The heroes of Lodi, Millesimo, Castiglione,
What? That's so funny.
The ... I'm sorry, because I'm just thinking, like the passive-aggressive sentences.
You think that this is how he wrote?
I don't think so, but I couldn't help but imagining it. You know, like you roll open a parchment, and Napoleon is writing to you. I don't know if any of you are in the corporate world, but if you know, you will know exactly what I mean. When there is like this elderly coworkers who write like that passive aggressively to you every time, and you have like Napoleon, none of the expected help arrived. ...
And you can see like a holes in a parchment. Parchment is the
more.
word?
Yeah, parchment.
Parchment. And with what you write? Not the feather, but the
No, a quill.
quill, all right.
and Bassano have died for their country or are in the hospitals. The men have nothing left but their reputation and their pride. We are abandoned in the depths of Italy.
Sorry, I ruined a serious
But
moment.
despite his apparent despair, Napoleon has already devised a plan to strike back. A breathtakingly bold move that will spawn one of the greatest of Napoleonic legends.
Can you imagine how hard he had to roll in his grave in the 1940 when Hitler attacked France?
Right?
He must have been like, just resurrect me. I will f him up in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
With the Austrians converging on Verona, Napoleon decides to risk everything on a daring surprise attack. Leaving Macquart to cover Verona, he will circle south with the rest of the army, cross the Adige River, and swing north, threatening to cut Alvinci's lines of communication and capture his artillery, baggage, and supplies. Such losses will force Alvinci to abandon his advance. Marching overnight, Augereau and Massena arrive undetected at Ronco.
Yeah, that's no longer possible,
Augereau's
is it?
men cross the Adige on a pontoon bridge and begin moving north. But with marshland on all sides, they have to stick to the narrow, raised causeway, just 20 yards wide. And when they reach Arcole, where they must cross the bridge to continue north, they find it held by 2 Croatian battalions. Horribly exposed on the causeway and under heavy
Oh,
fire,
wow.
the
Yeah.
French troops take cover behind its reverse slope. Reinforcements are sent up, but they too are pinned down by the weight of fire from the far bank. Colonel Lannes had discharged himself from hospital that morning in order not to miss the battle. He now attempts to lead a charge, but is hit in the leg. The fiery Augereau refuses to accept defeat and orders another attack. But his men are exhausted and demoralized, with 3 generals wounded. The attack at Arcole has stalled. When Alvinci hears gunfire from the south, he assumes the French are making a feint to divert him from his own planned attack on Verona. But then comes alarming news that the French have crossed the Adige in force and are behind his left flank. He sends 2 brigades to attack the French bridgehead and diverts Mitrovsky to reinforce Arcole. Massena's division...
I really like those close-ups when you can see exact
The
divisions
terrain. It's
and the terrain, yeah.
It's kind of as if he's responding to what you said in one of the first videos when you were like, oh, I cannot imagine the scale of it.
Yeah.
You still cannot, you don't know how vast it is, but you can see the small cities, you can see kind of the size of the river.
I mean,
the
now
lakes, so
I
it's
can kind
easier,
of
right?
imagine the size, because he mentioned that the path that they took, the France,
Yeah, it
was 20 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
more or less, and they were on the distance that they were able to hear the guns. I guess not muskets, I guess the bombers, the artillery. But it gives you a scope.
It's also so interesting to try to grasp when you don't have, full knowledge of how the technology and everything work at that time. Well, technology, how they are informing each other. He's able to quite quickly divert him. And also what I said before, like right now, it's not really possible to sneak up on anyone in active battle, right? I mean, if you're not expecting it, maybe, but if you're already in the battle at that territory, I think you would have satellite pictures of everything at all times.
Not everything. I think the diversion is still a big part of an army. Like you heard about this attack. I think I told you the attack that Ukraine did on Moscow, on Russia.
Oh, true.
With those cars that they were able to transfer into Russia territory, and then at one moment from those tracks the drones flight out.
Yeah, like the Troy.
Yeah. So despite all the technology, you're still able to sneak up.
Than just being able to take your army, and just because it's dark, you're able to.
Yes, of course, but still, you're able to maneuver troops in such a way that the enemy won't see them. It's not like they see every single human on the map,
Moving northwest to protect the flank of the advance, runs straight into the Austrians at Bionde. At first, the Austrians have the better of it. But a disastrous friendly fire incident triggers panic, and Massena drives the Austrians back up the
Sometimes
causeway.
need to have a destiny on your side.
Right?
Napoleon is increasingly concerned by the hold-up at Arcole. If they
And where
cannot
is it
break
Napoleon?
through,
I forgot.
Alvinci
Here.
will
He's
have
at
ample
Arcole, right?
time
No,
to
he's here at the
redeploy
bottom.
Ah, okay.
and prevent any
Tronco.
advance. He now orders General Gueux to take 2 regiments, cross the Adige at Albaredo, and lead them up the eastern bank of the Alpone River to hit Arcole from the south. He himself rides to the bridge to try to get the attack moving.
It's quite
He
brave.
finds hundreds of French troops sheltering behind the causeway, unwilling to face the Austrian fire. General Augereau grabs a standard and begins to advance. This highly romanticized depiction was painted 2 years later. "Grenadiers," he cries, "come and seek your color." In reality, none had the courage to follow him. Then, the commander of the Army of Italy himself draws his saber, picks up a standard, and runs forward. There is withering fire all around. Several men fall wounded. His aide-de-camp, Colonel Muron, is killed. Another aide-de-camp, a Polish officer named Sulkowski, recalls, "The soldiers saw him, and none of them imitated him. I was witness to this extraordinary cowardice, and I cannot conceive it." With the French
But
infantry...
was he following, or he was just witnessing the cowardice? And
But wasn't he Austrian soldier?
all right, okay.
I think he was Austrian soldier because Poles at this moment did not fight with France.
Well, I just assumed maybe he was of Polish origin or something for some reason.
No, it's like what I said before. Like in Austrian army, there were Polish soldiers involuntarily, but they were. Also, I want to say how you must respect and admire something like that, and I think it should be a standard for everyone who has a power to send young people to die in wars. I think you should be part of them. If you are willing to risk their lives, you should risk your own. Like, if you are willing to, shed blood, then you need to be willing to shed your own.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing, I guess, because it depends, because you have to protect. Your life is kind of worth a little bit more in the sense that you are the leader, you have the strategy, you are able to lead so many people. I don't mean that it's actually worth more, but you know what I mean. So you have to be more protected. You cannot take needless risks. But when it comes to it, I think maybe not every general or not every leader had the situation where it had to come to it in such a desperate battle, But it's really a testament to
but
being a good leader,
what I mean.
You're able to do it.
You can see the difference between this and, like, for example, situation from the end of the World War II, when Hitler and all the elites were hiding in bunkers, and they were sending children to defend Berlin.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Another aide-de-camp, a Polish officer named Sulkowski, recalls, "The soldiers saw him, and none of them imitated him. I was witness to this extraordinary cowardice, and I cannot conceive it." With the French infantry refusing to follow their officers, the assault on the bridge ends in abject failure. A well-timed Austrian counterattack drives them back down the causeway.
I can't see for now how it will change.
Yeah.
In the rout, Napoleon's horse loses its footing. He tumbles into the swamp and has to be hauled out by his aides.
There's so much going on.
That evening, General Gieux launches his attack on Arcole.
Oh yeah, there is this guy too.
All right.
The
Yeah, he was
defenses
going
are
up.
less formidable on this side, and his men fight their way into the village.
Oh.
Arcole, at last, has fallen.
Oh.
So that was a good move.
But that night, Gieux's men are ordered to pull back. Napoleon
Oh, that's a lot of
is
walking.
preparing to retreat. If, as he expects, Davidovich has continued his advance down the Adige Valley, Napoleon must withdraw now or face encirclement. His bold maneuver appears to have failed. Then, at 4 a.m., Napoleon receives a report from Rivoli that changes everything. Not only does Vaubois still hold the town, he hasn't even been attacked yet. Napoleon's line of retreat remains secure for at least a few days more. It's all the reassurance he needs. He immediately cancels his retreat and issues orders to attack.
But you need to trust those reports too. That's the big part. You need to be sure that it's
The real report.
yeah.
Okay, we're on the second day.
Napoleon has lost the element of surprise, and Dalvinci is now planning his own counterattack.
Austrians everywhere.
His troops edge forward. Provera to Belfiore di Porcile, Mitrovsky back into Arcole. Both armies are on the move before dawn. Massena sends skirmishers into the marshland. When the Austrians arrive, bunched up on the causeway, they make easy targets.
Oh, they were hidden. Okay.
After a sharp fight in which an Austrian general is killed,
Ooh.
Massena's men are
That was quick.
driving the enemy before them. Augereau, however, cannot get close to Arcole.
Oh, so they
Causeway
retreated
is
and they
still
took over the city
swept by
again.
Austrian musket fire and canister from across the Alpone. Napoleon orders troops to cross downstream at Albaredo. But the Austrians now have 2 battalions guarding
Yeah,
the
it's not
crossing
gonna work
point.
the second time.
French attempts to float or swim across the river come to naught. Day 2 of the battle ends in stalemate. Many soldiers have to camp amid the marshes and get what food and rest they can. Napoleon will try once more to break through, but he is running out of time.
I think everything will.
Changed on this day?
Yeah.
Davidovich, who by now has received several urgent requests from Alvinci to advance, finally attacks on the 17th of November. Vaubois' outgunned division breaks. The Austrians take Rivoli and 1,000 prisoners and nearly capture Vaubois himself. With Davidovich on the move at last, Napoleon must force a decision at Arcole or retreat. The bridge at Arcole has proved
been almost
too
a month
tough
at this
to
point.
crack. So Napoleon
It's been almost a month at
switches
this point.
tactics.
Well, half a month.
Augereau's
No, from
division
the
will
22nd
cross
to
the
the
Alpone
17th.
and attack Arcole from the south in force. A column is sent 10 miles south to cross at Legnago and then race back up the eastern
Ooh.
bank to support him. Massena will advance up the causeway in support, while also protecting the left flank. That night, the French assemble a pontoon bridge over the Alpone. Augereau's division begins crossing before dawn. But at sunrise, Austrian gunners in Albaredo spot the bridge and score a hit, knocking it out of action. Only the
But they crossed.
51st Demi Brigade is across, though it gamely begins to advance on Arcole. Massena's advance is also hamstrung by a broken pontoon bridge. To add to the crisis, the Austrians launch an attack on the fragile French bridgehead. Napoleon gathers every available gun to blast the Austrians, who fall back under a withering barrage. The bridges are quickly repaired. But as the French advance, they encounter stubborn opposition on both sides of the Alpone. A bloody seesaw battle surges back and forth along the causeways. Neither side can deploy its troops nor gain an advantage. Around 3 p.m., the French column from Legnago arrives, threatening to turn the Austrian flank.
The ones from the very bottom.
Yeah.
Just as Arcole
Yeah, the ones that had
seems
to do
about
make
to
the
fall,
whole-
the Austrians launch a ferocious counterattack across the bridge. Brigadier General Robert is killed. His
Oh,
troops
wow.
fall back in disarray. The panic is contagious.
How is it going to
Augereau's
change?
men lose their
Right?
nerve and fall back to the bridge. The moment of crisis has arrived.
I heard that the worst thing that can happen to armies in those times, when you were fighting not from such a distance as later, in the First or Second World War, was the panic.
Yeah.
That-
You
that-
stomp over each other and just...
And the battles were lost due to panic. It was never like they were killing everyone and then battle was won. It was about the moment you need to achieve the moment of panic, and sometimes you were able to do that with smaller forces But when the panic started, it was very difficult to
Okay, and then they
contain it.
Then they start the retreat.
And when they retreat, they are easy target.
Yeah, and especially in such conditions like here, when the passage is very narrow. So even if people are running, then we know how that works in crowds. Even if there's not a war on, and especially if people are already shooting at you.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm really waiting for what's going to change, because I see there's only 6 minutes left.
Maybe it's not in this. Maybe it's not in this video. Maybe this video is.
Oh, because this is part 4. That's true.
Yeah, maybe he loses here, and maybe in the part 5 he.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Succeeds.
I got it in my head that it's the hype is because of how it will change, but also
Maybe
so much is going on here that I think it's enough.
Maybe it's like Avengers: Infinity War, you know, like you have a bad ending, but that's the best movie of the whole universe.
To the bridge. The moment of crisis has arrived. But while the enemy has just used his last reserves, Napoleon can call on Massena's unengaged troops, including the elite 32nd Demi-Brigade.
Right.
Their sudden counterattack turns the tide. Massena's men sweep up the causeway, taking scores of prisoners, as Augereau's division resumes its advance.
Back and forth.
Right?
As they approach
They must be so tired.
Arcole, Napoleon arranges a small ruse de guerre.
What's that?
25 of his elite escort sweep in from the east,
Ruse de
blowing
guerre?
bugles to feign a mass cavalry charge.
Ah.
In the evening light, it's enough to scare the remaining
Yeah,
garrison.
exactly.
He's using so many
abandoning the
tactics,
village.
right?
As the French continue their advance, Alvinci orders his exhausted, demoralized army to retreat east, to Montebello, to protect its lines of communication. The 3-day Battle of Arcole has been a messy, bloody affair, with no great tactical flourishes. Napoleon's margin of victory is narrow, and a third of his army are casualties.
A third.
But he has done enough. For now.
He's even admitting that himself.
Yeah, because there were so many factors, you know, like the fact that they didn't attack them so early,
But
so late.
Davidovich remains a threat.
The friendly fire.
The next
Yeah.
day, Napoleon sets off at his customary pace with Massena's division to reinforce Vaubois. Augereau takes a different route to threaten the Austrians' line of retreat. The confusion that follows between Alvinci and Davidovich verges on farce. Alvinci writes to his corps commander, informing him that he will support him by resuming his advance. But Davidovich, having heard of the defeat at Arcole and now directly menaced by Napoleon, is already retreating. On receiving Alvinci's letter, however, he tries to turn his army around, leading to such chaos that he has to immediately countermand that order and resume his retreat.
When I hear about those letters and stuff, like, couldn't you employ some of those postmen that were carrying those letters? Like, they were able to move so fast. Maybe they should be like part of your army.
Right? Yeah, and also, how did they even move?
Where,
Here you have the
what way?
Austrians,
What way they used?
Yeah, you have French people. What? Like, you had to go really around, and you have mountains there. So how did they do that? It's really. I have no idea. I have no idea how.
I wonder because, like in Count of Monte Cristo, which happens it starts when Napoleon is at Elba, and they are already using Telegram at this point. So I wonder if they were able to use Telegram then. Because if yes, then, you know, it's not a problem.
I haven't seen comments about it, so if you guys know, please let us know. But and I remember that I was asking in one of the last videos, like that I want to see the point where other generals already know who Napoleon is and they are not underestimating him anymore. I think we're kind of nearing that point, like where he heard, okay, you got defeated, okay, backing up.
The end result is that both Austrian armies are soon withdrawing. And with exquisitely poor timing, gallant old Wurmser chooses this moment to launch his supporting attack from Mantua. He does at least secure some much-needed supplies, at a cost of 800 casualties. It has been a bruising campaign for Napoleon. By some estimates, he has lost more men than the Austrians. He has suffered his first defeat in battle and won a costly, messy victory at Arcole. But he has beaten the odds and thrown back the enemy.
Maybe they
What's
will
more,
finally
his
send him
heroic
reinforcements.
conduct at the bridge
Yeah, maybe
at
they'll listen to
Arcole
him now.
will soon take on a life of its own. Artists and pamphleteers turn a slightly embellished version of events into a sensational piece of personal PR that captivates France. With Napoleon,
He looks so much different in every single depiction.
the world is witnessing the birth of the Napoleonic legend. A powerful force that will inspire loyalty and devotion for many years to come. For now, both armies settle into winter quarters, as December brings bitter cold and heavy snow to northern Italy.
No one wants to fight at Christmas.
Mantua, the Austrian garrison is near its limit. Starvation
Yeah, but they
beckons,
must have like no
though
resources.
Wurmser is determined to hold out to the last.
Yeah, because he has something to eat.
The Austrians will have one
Right.
last chance to save the city. A final offensive to decide the outcome of the war in Italy.
Oh, come on!
Thank you to PMF Productions. for
No,
their
can we
help.
watch it immediately?
Yeah.
Okay,
there
I
was-
understand why this episode was. There was so much happened in every single episode so far. A lot has happened, but I think here the stakes were just very, very high. And I also liked. I think he added more. Added more of the close-ups here. It was very seamlessly done. I don't know. If
Yeah,
you
there was
noticed.
even a little animation when they were repairing the bridges.
Yeah.
You could see like, and there was a sound of the hammers
Yeah, but
nailing the nails.
I also meant that they showed us more battles in detail rather than just with the flags, and they were
Yeah.
like nicely zooming in, and also with what you said, like we could see the terrain better right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You could see the scale better, so it's really getting.
I wonder how well it will look in the future, like
Right.
when it comes to the Russian campaign. But,
Yeah, I think he'll get even better at the videos, or
but
they.
it's really good. I'm sorry it takes so long for us to do those reactions. I'm sorry that you have to wait. But on the other hand, you wait for the good things in life. That's what
So we
someone
wait
said.
as well, right? Yeah, it's just these are the longer videos, and we also try to still have the other videos in between. But again, I think this is the biggest series on our channel at present happening, and we're definitely not abandoning it. We're definitely not trying to do less of it. We want to keep posting it regularly.
We will try to maintain the pace of one
Pace.
video per week.
Yeah.
Yeah, pace. Sorry. I know that this has been longer this time, but we had some problems. Veronica was sick for a moment, so there was that.
Yeah.
We also had some problems with Patreon. I mean, it was not up to date for a moment. So sorry for that. We will try to make better. We are trying to record as many videos
To speed up a
as we
little
can.
bit. And
yeah.
thank you very much for encouraging us. And all of you have been
Yeah.
so nice, even when we weren't posting, and you were so nice asking for the next video. So sorry that we made you wait, but thank you so much for
Yeah, we are
engaging.
very grateful for this community that we have.
Yeah,
you,
it's
you are
perfect.
so great. We have questions for you, and you are there to answer them. Like, we really appreciate you guys, and we are happy that we have you. We could not wish to have a better audience.
Yeah, you guys are all like so smart and so kind to each other. I even see people discussing things, and honestly, under these videos, it's just perfect. Everyone's so kind to each other.
It's
and-
really great to have
yeah.
such a community. People who listen to what you are saying, and you are asking questions, and you respond to those
Yeah, and
questions.
we've been doing this for a year now, but it's still so strange to me sometimes because, especially under these videos, it's very visible, but other videos as well, that I say something, I don't know, 20 minutes into the video, and
Yeah,
then I
and
see
someone
people
responds
commenting
to
and you
that.
respond. I'm like, you're actually watching and you're
Yeah.
listening, and you want to respond to my
Yeah.
question. It's amazing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. We are really, I am very excited for the resolution.
Do you think in the next video they will mention like the political outcome of everything?
I think
Will
a
there
little
be like
bit.
a little bit of summary?
People told us in the comments that there is like a couple of videos that are a little bit more focused on it,
Mhm.
but mostly it's just like interwoven with the other videos, and it's usually mentioned
Okay.
in those, but
Okay.
more so in the videos about the coup and everything.
Because the next video I see, it's not very much longer. It's 4 minutes longer. So I think there won't be that much.
I think I would expect that maybe the actual events will be a bit less, and we will get some kind of a summary of the whole situation.
Or maybe
as well.
it will happen in the a next chapter.
Maybe.
In the first video of the next chapter. I don't know what the next chapter is.
No, but luckily there's the playlist by the channel, and some people warned us that the videos are not in the chronological order, but I've checked, and on the channel that was made on the playlist that was made by the channel, everything is in the order that you guys were suggesting, so we are not likely to make a mistake. But of course you can drop what the next video after this is in the comments as well, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. And the question for today is, what is your opinion of Napoleon as a person? Like, where do you put him in comparison to other leaders?
Okay.
Like leaders of the country, not just military leaders, but the leaders of countries. Do you think he was more noble than others? Do you think he was less noble than others? Was his goal really the glory of his country or just his own?
That's an
What do you
interesting
think?
question.
And as for the moment, thank you for watching.
Thank
as
you very
always,
much.
have a great day. If you are still here, please check out our other channel. It will be interesting for you, I promise, in the very near future. And there is a reaction that you don't want to miss. So, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Goodbye.